So, dear members, my name is Vinod Parimal. I welcome you all to the extraordinary general meeting of Insilco Limited. The meeting is being conducted through audio-visual mode in accordance with the circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and SEBI. For the smooth and seamless conduct of the meeting, all members are on mute mode to avoid any disturbances from the background noise. I believe we are being recorded, and I hope that is all right for all participants. I would request Mr. Dara P. Mehta, Chairman of the Board, to take the chair and declare the meeting as commenced pursuant to Article 60 of the Articles of Association of the company.
Please make the type little bigger, much bigger, much bigger. Thank you. Thank you, Vinod. I feel glad and honored to welcome you all at this extraordinary general meeting conducted through video conferencing. As informed by the moderator, we have the requisite quorum present to conduct the proceedings of this meeting. The quorum being present, I call the meeting to order. Before we start the actual proceedings of the meeting, I request my colleagues on the video conference to introduce themselves. Ms. Sonia.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sonia Prasha, Independent Non-Executive Director of the company. I'm joining from New Delhi, India.
Thank you, Sonia. Now, please, Miss Tang.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Meng Tang, Non-Executive and Non-Independent Director. I'm joined from Shanghai, China.
Welcome. Next, Mr. Christian Schlosnicki.
Hi, I am Christian Schlosnicki, Non-Executive, Non-Independent Director, joining from Hanna Wolfgang, Germany. Hello to all.
Hello, thank you, Christian. Next, please move this. Now, Mr. Vinod Parimal.
Vinod?
Please unmute
Hello,
yourself.
everyone. Hello,
Yeah,
everyone.
hello.
I'm Vinod Parimal, Managing Director, joining from Mumbai, India.
Thank you, Vinod. Welcome. Now, Gopal.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Gopal Iyer, Non-Executive, Non-Independent Director, joining the meeting from Mumbai, India.
Thank you. The next, please scroll down. Miss Swati. Now, Mr. Gopal, we have already heard you. Next is Miss Swati. Miss Swati.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Swati Suretia, Company Secretary of the company. I'm attending the meeting from New Delhi, India.
Very good. Welcome. Now, we also welcome the auditors, PricewaterhouseCoopers, who are present at the meeting, represented by Mr. Gupta. Given the unprecedented outbreak of global pandemic COVID-19, the company has taken the opportunity granted by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and SEBI to organize this AGM as fully virtual. The notice of the AGM, along with the explanatory statement, is already circulated electronically and, with your permission, taken the same as read. Please scroll down and make it bigger, the font. Here. The company has taken all feasible efforts under the current circumstances to enable members to participate through video conferencing and vote at this AGM. I thank all the members, colleagues on the board, auditors, and the management team for joining this meeting over video conferencing. I hope all of you and your loved ones are safe and are in good health. Yes, continue, please. I would hand over to Ms. Swati, Company Secretary, to provide general instructions to the members regarding the participation in this meeting. Ms. Swati.
Thank you, sir. Members may note that this extraordinary general meeting is being held through video conference in accordance with the Companies Act 2013 and circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and SEBI. Facility for joining this meeting through audio-visual mode is made available for the members on a first-come, first-served basis. As the EGM is being held through video conference, the facility for appointment of proxies by the members was not applicable, and hence the proxy register for inspection is not available. The company has received requests from a few members to register them as speakers at the meeting. Accordingly, the floor will be open for these members to ask questions and express their views. The moderator will facilitate the session once the chairman opens the floor for questions and answers for registered speakers. It may be noted that the company reserves the right to limit the number of members asking questions depending on the availability of time at the EGM. Members are requested to keep their questions brief and specific and limit their speech to maximum 2 minutes. As per the provisions of Companies Act and SEBI listing regulations, the company had provided its members the facility to cast the votes electronically on the resolution set forth in the notice through remote e-voting. Those members who have not cast their votes yet electronically and who are participating in this meeting will have an opportunity to cast their votes during the meeting through the e-voting system provided and administered by NSDL. The voting period had commenced at 2 p.m. and it shall be allowed till 15 minutes of conclusion of the meeting. For this, members are requested to cast their vote through e-voting system provided by NSDL. Members are requested to refer the instructions provided in the notice of the EGM for a seamless participation through video conference. In case members face any difficulty, they may reach out on the helpline numbers. Now I request Mr. Chairman to move the resolutions to be considered at this EGM. Thank you.
Thank you. The resolution being part of the notice has already been voted on through video conferencing. Therefore, as provided in the secretarial standards, I can't read. Please make it bigger. Make the font larger. There will be no proposing and seconding of the resolution. Necessary explanatory explanation relating to the items to be transacted at the EGM has been provided in the explanatory statement forming part of this notice. Dear shareholders, this extraordinary general meeting has been convened to seek your approval on 2 items. Item number 1 relates to voluntary liquidation of the company. As you are aware, the UPPCB had rejected your company's application to renew the consent to operate. Consequently, the operations of the company have remained shut. Please make it bigger if you don't mind. I can't read it. Much bigger. Yes. Thank you. Consequently, the operations of the company have remained shut from October 2019. After making its best efforts and considering all available options, the board of directors of your company are of the opinion that the voluntary liquidation of the company can be considered the best way forward to realize the assets of the company in a quick and efficient manner and distribute the proceeds thereof to the shareholders of the company. The complete details have been carried in the explanatory statement provided in the notice of this AGM. Yes. Item number 2 relates to the appointment of Mr. Vinod Parimal as the managing director of the company. Mr. Parimal possesses knowledge of various aspects relating to the company's affairs and long business experience. Also, there is a need to ensure the smooth and efficient running of the company and to meet the necessary compliance requirements under the applicable regulations. The complete details have been carried in the explanatory statement provided in the notice of this AGM. The shareholders are hereby apprised that as required under the Companies Act 2013, the company has provided you all the facility to cast your vote through remote e-voting on the resolutions set forth in the notice. As already explained by the company secretary, voting during the AGM is available from 2 p.m. up to 15 minutes of the conclusion of the meeting. Members who have not cast their votes electronically and who are participating in the meeting will have an opportunity to cast their vote through the e-voting system provided by NSDL. It is hereby informed that we have appointed APK and Associates as the scrutineers, who shall supervise the e-voting process and shall unlock the votes cast through remote e-voting and make it at the earliest, but not later than 2 working days from the conclusion of this AGM. A consolidated scrutinizer's report and hand it over to me, which shall be declared forthwith. Yes, continue, please. After the declaration of the results, it can be seen on the website of the company, the website of the Bombay Stock Exchange, and the website of NSDL. Now, members who have pre-registered themselves as speakers are invited to ask questions or on the agenda items as set forth in the notice of the EGM. Mr. Vinod Parimal, we will now call upon the speaker shareholders to present their questions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will now ask our first speaker questioner, Ms. Bharati Saraf, to please ask their questions. Her question.
He's not there.
One minute, sir. ये लाइन अभी मेरे को लाइन दिया इन्होंने लाइन ही नहीं दिया इतना देर तक.
No, sir, you are in line, sir. Please ask your question.
नहीं ठीक है सर, मेरे को नॉलेज है. अच्छा, माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, उपस्थित निवेशक सदस्यगण और मेरे शेयरहोल्डर भाइयों बहनों जो आज वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस के थ्रू प्रेजेंट है, आप सभी को मैं नमस्कार. मैं भारतीय श्रम में ज्वाइंट होल्डर संतोष कुमार सराफ बोल रहा हूँ कलकत्ता से. सर, आशा करता हूँ आप जितने डायरेक्टर, जितने भी हमारे कर्मचारी और जितने भी के मैनेजर स्टाफ हैं और हमारे डिविजन प्रोफेसर मिस्टर जो चंद्र प्रकाश जी हैं और स्वस्थ और अच्छे से होंगे. सर, मेरे को प्रश्न 2 है सर. एक तो ये रेगुलेशन जो है अपना, इसका जो ड्यू है जिसके कारण आज अपने को ये पोजीशन आई थी, वो टोटल अमाउंट कितने रुपए का ड्यू है जिसके कारण ये डिमांड आई और अपन नहीं कर सके, इसके लिए अपने को अपने लिक्विडेशन में जाना पड़ रहा है. एक सर, ये जो अपॉइंटमेंट है मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर का पीरामल जी का है, तो इनका रेम्युनरेशन क्या है? क्या मतलब इनको रेम्युनरेशन देना है या ये अपनी ऑनरी सर्विस देंगे? इसके बारे में बताने का कष्ट करिएगा सर. और सर, बड़े दुख की बात है, इतनी पुरानी कंपनी और हम इतने अच्छे शेयर होल्डर इतने ऊंचे दाम में दिए हुए हैं, आज हमारी पोजीशन ये है कि हमें वेट करना पड़ा रिलेशन प्रोफेशन जो किसी कंपनी को टेक ओवर करती है या फिर पूरा एसेट अपने को लिक्विडेशन में भेजना पड़ता है। अभी कुछ नहीं है, रिलेशन प्रोफेशन जब आया है तो आशा करता हूँ चेष्टा करेंगे जिससे कोई कंपनी कोई इसको टेक ओवर कर ले इसके एसेट्स को, और जो भी शेयर होल्डर को अगर वो रखती है तो ठीक है। आज का जनरली जो भी रिलेशन आ रहे हैं उसमें देख रहे हैं कि शेयर होल्डर की जो इक्विटी है वो जीरो हो जा रही है। अभी हमने देखा 2-3 देखा हमने कि अभी डीएचएल का देखा, मतलब जो आपको पीरामल जी ने लिया जीरो हो गया सर। उसके पहले भी कई कंपनी हमने एसआर की देखी वो भी जीरो हो गया सर। तो हम आपसे रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे कि ये क्या है और ये दोनों का उत्तर दीजिए सर, कितना ड्यू है जो पेमेंट करने का है और पीरामल जी को क्या रेम्युनरेशन अपने को देने का है नहीं देने का है। और भगवान से प्रार्थना करो आप सब स्वस्थ रहिए, आपकी फैमिली स्वस्थ हो इस कोविड के अंदर में, और 2021 हम लोग के लिए शुभ हो, आप लोग के लिए शुभ हो, कंपनी के लिए भी शुभ हो। कंपनी की जो प्रॉब्लम है जल्दी से जल्दी सेटल हो जाए और फिर नए अगर कोई मिलते हैं अपने को तो उनके साथ में नया तरह से टेक ओवर कर मैनेजमेंट करें। धन्यवाद सर, नमस्कार।
Okay, thank you, sir.
I will try to answer Mr. Saraf's question to the best of my understanding, and the rest of it we will try to respond if possible by email. So for the first question, whether there are any dues for remaining for UPPCB, there are no dues. This is my understanding. The question was whether there are any dues for UPPCB. There are no dues remaining for UPPCB. The other one is the remuneration of the managing director. There is no remuneration, is the answer. For the other questions, we will, we will respond if possible by email.
Sir, if not due, then why you going in liquidation, sir? If no due, then why you go to? I supplementary, sir. Sorry, sir.
So perhaps I can reply to why the board of directors has decided to initiate voluntary liquidation. The operations of the company have been suspended since 2019 due to the refusal of consent to operate by the UPPCB, the Uttar Pradesh Pollution Control Board. The company had accordingly filed fresh applications for consent to operate. However, the same were dismissed by the UPPCB. The company has also challenged the orders by separate appeals before the Special Secretary, Department of Environment, Forest and Climate, Uttar Pradesh. The matter was finally heard, and the Special Secretary, via its order dated December 4th, 2020, dismissed the appeals filed by the company. The board of the company, after due consideration, unanimously agreed not to pursue the matter any further. Due to the long suspension of the operations of the company and lack of consent to operate, the possibility of resuming normal operations in the foreseeable future is remote. Hence, the business of the company is not commercially viable. Further, since Insilco is no longer undertaking any active business, there is no revenue stream and there is a continuing depletion of available cash. Therefore, in order to protect shareholder interests, the board has recommended the initiation of voluntary liquidation subject to the approval by the shareholders and creditors as the best way forward, which would result in realization of the assets of the company and distribution of the proceeds post settlement of liabilities and dues thereof to the shareholders of the company.
Thank you.
Okay, our next speaker is Mr. Abhishek J. Abhishek, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Can you hear me, sir? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, Abhishek, you are audible, please.
Sir, my name is Abhishek, shareholder of the company. My DPI IN 301637 and client ID is 41359155. First of all, I congratulate the management on the eve of this extraordinary general body meeting. Sir, we are totally disappointed for a voluntary liquidation, and when our peer groups are able to perform, why our company is not able to perform, sir? We are not able to understand. Even in the previous AGM also I raised these issues, but we are sorry to say, sir, that we are totally disappointed after seeing these resolutions. And what is the need and necessity for the management to arrive at this particular conclusion? And when you have already appointed an official liquidator, the second resolution, why you are in a position to appointing the managing director? It does not make any purpose, sir, because when we are already in a position of voluntary winding up, why do we appoint a managing director at this point of stage? Pandemic period, how much salary cut was being taken by the management? I would like to know from you, sir. Any salary was being drawn by the management when during the company is under such a stress, and how much expenses was being incurred during this pandemic period? Kindly send us the half-yearly balance sheets for the perusal of the shareholders, sir, because AGM has not yet been conducted for the current year. Kindly send us the balance sheets for the half-yearly and quarterly balance sheets for our perusal. And I would request the management and the official liquidator to please take care of the minority shareholders. And if the company is going for a liquidation, you should try for an acquirer who can allot shares on a pro rata basis. So I would request the official liquidator once again to look for some competitive acquirer who can acquire the company and allot shares to the shareholders of Insilco in the pro rata basis, so that the investor fraternity does not get affected. And recently also you may be aware that in CG Power, when the company was under liquidation, Murugappa Group has pumped in a huge amount of money to take up the company, and now the entire investor fraternity is being benefited. So I would request the management and the official liquidator to kindly take up CG Power collaboration with Murugappa Group as a very good example, and please adopt such initiatives in our company also, so that the investor fraternity does not get affected and people will not lose faith in investments. Nothing much to ask, sir. I wish the company and the board of directors great success and prosperity in the coming future. Thank you for giving the opportunity, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other speakers?
Answer, if I may answer at least a part of the question, I think just to repeat what was said before, the reason for the action that has been taken currently is why has the board of directors decided to initiate voluntary liquidation? This answer was just given earlier. The second part, again to repeat, the new managing director appointed will not be taking any remuneration from Insilco. And the annual accounts and the AGM will be called in due course, and the annual accounts will be then therefore provided.
Okay, so as I can see, I think a few other people registered themselves as a speaker, but they did not join this EGM. So as I can see, there is no other participant. They have a question. There is only 2 participants. They have a questions.
All right.
Then I hand it back to Mr. Chairman, sir.
Scroll below.
For the questions unanswered, we will suitably reply to you over the email. There being no other item on the agenda to be transacted, the meeting is now closed. I thank you all for your support and sparing your valuable time for us. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Thank you.
Meeting is closed
Bye.
now. Bye bye.
Thanks to all.
Bye.